Carl Jung was one of the most fascinating minds in the history of psychology. He didn't just explore how the human mind works. He dove into the depths of the human soul. Jung believed that psychology wasn't just about solving mental illness. It was about understanding ourselves, fully, honestly, and courageously. His ideas stretched far beyond psychology. They touched philosophy, art, religion, literature, and even mythology. People often call his way of thinking Jungian philosophy, a worldview that helps us understand not only how our minds function, but also how we can live more meaningful lives. Among his many works, books like Man and His Symbols and the Archetypes and the Collective Unconscious reveal a deep truth. Happiness isn't something you chase. It's something you uncover, hidden beneath layers of fear, pride, and the parts of yourself you've forgotten. Jung believed that happiness isn't found in constant pleasure or success, but in wholeness, accepting who you truly are, light and shadow alike. In this video, we'll explore how you can find deep and lasting happiness, drawing wisdom from Jung's ideas about the mind, the self, and the journey toward inner harmony. Let's begin. Number 1. Focus on your mental health. Even a happy life cannot be without a measure of darkness. Carl Jung. We all know that physical health matters. Eat well, exercise, sleep enough. But Jung reminds us that mental health is equally vital. Perhaps even more so, because it shapes how we experience everything else. When your mind is clouded with worry or unrest, even the best moments lose their color. When your inner world is balanced, even ordinary days feel rich with meaning. Mental health isn't just about avoiding anxiety or depression. It's about becoming conscious of what's going on beneath the surface. According to Jung, much of who we are lives below the level of awareness, in what he called the unconscious. This unconscious is a vast space where your forgotten memories, hidden fears, and unspoken desires live. And within it lies one of Jung's most powerful ideas, the shadow. The shadow represents the parts of yourself you'd rather not see. Jealousy, anger, insecurity, selfishness. We often deny these traits because we think they're bad, but Jung argued that rejecting them doesn't make them disappear. It just makes them stronger in secret. The more we repress, the more the shadow controls us from behind the curtain. It leaks out in irritability, judgment, and destructive habits. The way forward, Jung said, is not to destroy the shadow, but to integrate it. That means acknowledging your hidden emotions without letting them rule you. Ask yourself, what feelings do I avoid? When do I feel triggered by others? And what does that say about me? What am I pretending not to feel? Facing your shadow isn't comfortable. It can feel like walking into a dark cave. But Jung reminds us that the treasure we seek is always guarded by the dragon we fear most. By exploring your inner darkness, you reclaim your strength. When you accept your flaws, they stop defining you. For example, if you realize you often feel jealous of others, that awareness can become a guide. Instead of pretending you're not envious, you can ask, what does their success reveal about my own desires? Maybe envy isn't your enemy. Maybe it's your teacher, showing you what you secretly want for yourself. Mental health, in Jung's view, is about wholeness, not perfection. The more honestly you face yourself, the lighter your mind becomes. Because real happiness doesn't come from eliminating pain. It comes from understanding it. When you explore your subconscious, you build emotional resilience. You become less reactive, more compassionate, and more grounded. You learn to befriend yourself, even the parts that used to scare you. And that's the first step toward lasting happiness. Number 3. Appreciate art and nature. Nature seemed to me full of wonders. Every single thing seemed alive and indescribably marvelous. Carl Jung. Jung had a lifelong love for nature and art because he saw them as gateways to the soul. For him, Beauty wasn't just a surface experience. It was a conversation between your inner world and the world around you. He believed that the ability to appreciate beauty is one of the most essential human skills. When we slow down enough to notice the details, the colors of a sunset, the sound of rain, the texture of a painting, we reconnect with the timeless part of ourselves. Modern life often pulls us away from this. We rush from one task to another, obsessed with productivity, constantly distracted. But Jung would say, if you lose your sense of wonder, you lose your connection to life itself. To be happy, you must learn to see again, not just look, to notice, to listen, to marvel. He encouraged people to spend time in nature not as an escape, but as a return, a homecoming to the part of the self that remembers stillness. When you stand before a mountain or a vast ocean, something in you awakens. It's as if your soul recognizes something ancient, something larger than your everyday worries. That feeling, Jung believed, is sacred. Art has a similar power. When you lose yourself in a painting, a song, or a poem, your unconscious stirs. Images and emotions rise to the surface. You remember dreams you've forgotten. Art gives form to the things we can't say in words. Jung saw art as a dialogue with the collective unconscious, a realm of universal symbols and archetypes that connect all humanity. When you feel moved by a story or a melody, it's not random. Something deep within you resonates with a timeless pattern. Take myths, for example. Every culture tells stories of heroes, villains, lovers, and seekers. These aren't just stories. They're reflections of the human journey, symbols of transformation. When you engage with beauty, whether in art or nature, you awaken that same transformative energy inside yourself. It reminds you that you are part of something vast and meaningful. To appreciate beauty is to practice gratitude. It teaches you to slow down, to live consciously. Even ordinary moments, sunlight on your desk, laughter with a friend, become sacred when you truly see them. Jung once wrote that what we reject outwardly often mirrors what we've lost inwardly. If we can't see beauty in the world, it's often because we've forgotten the beauty within ourselves. By reconnecting with beauty, you reconnect with the wholeness that happiness depends on. Conclusion: the path to wholeness. Carl Jung's philosophy reminds us that happiness is not a fleeting feeling. It's a process of becoming whole. To be happy, you must 1. Face your shadow. Learn to understand your inner darkness so it doesn't control you. 2. Connect deeply. Build relationships that help you grow, not ones that drain you. 3. Embrace beauty. Rediscover wonder in art, nature, and the simple moments of life. Happiness, in Jung's eyes, is the result of a lifelong dialogue between who you are and who you could be. It's not about perfection, but integration, weaving your light and darkness into one tapestry of meaning. Every challenge, every mistake, every emotion is part of that journey. And when you learn to accept it all, the good and the bad, something miraculous happens. You stop chasing happiness and start living it. So, the next time you feel lost, remember Jung's quiet wisdom. Who looks outside, dreams. Who looks inside, awakes. Look inside, and you may find that the happiness you've been searching for has been within you all along.